February 26th. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and up first would be the roll call.
Terry Collins, Carol Zawacki, Gloria Bortnicek,
Here.
Russ Amo,
Here.
Jeff DeCenzo,
Here.
Bert Fenby, Ralph Tillotson,
Here.
Carol Bolton, Chris Peoples,
Here.
Alan Dickerson, Julie Hackett, Rob Trevino, and Julie Weatherby.
Here.
Okay. I would say we have enough for a forum here and we can get moving. And the next thing on this would be the approval of last month's minutes. Someone would take a look at that. I'd take a motion.
There are no additions or corrections. I move to be accepted as submitted.
I'll support that.
We have a motion with support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the same if you don't agree? No. Okay. Okay, we do not have Connie here today. However, we do have our director. She said she has some things to discuss, so we'll turn it over to her.
Oh, I prefer share. So Connie has been on our agenda 3 times now. And we've made the decision that each time she's on the agenda, we have a crisis that involves her. So we're never putting her on the agenda again. With any luck, she'll pop in and visit us, but we will not put her on the agenda. We have that terrible illness, sickness, colds is running through our kitchen staff, and Connie's staying behind and holding things together for us today. So we much prefer her doing that than coming to visit with us. But I do have some things to share. She would definitely be telling you more about the kitchen and the home delivered meal piece. And I would prefer that that be hers to share, but I would be happy to share a little bit about congregate meals. Congregate meals are our meals that are served at our senior centers. And just to share, there has been some significant change. When I knew she wasn't going to be here this morning, I decided I'd take a little stroll through time to see where we were in January of 2019. In January of 2019, so what would that be, 7 years ago?
Yep.
We had 2,691 meals that were served across our county in that month. Fast forward to January of 2026, that number is 1,632. A very significant difference. What's different, you may ask? Well, first of all, we had a period of time in 2020, 2021 that we were not really open and serving. And when that happened, I think we really lost our momentum of when individuals were no longer attending, there was always someone or 2 people coming to replace. And that momentum was lost. We had more people not come back than we had start attending. So we are ahead of the game from where we would have been in 22. It's been a slow grow, but what we're noticing is that we are definitely serving differently. And by that, I mean what the role of the senior centers hasn't technically changed. We're still in a place to serve people, to help people and to serve a meal. But when people are thinking about coming in and dining with us, there's less people participating in the dining portion of the meal than there were before. Our attendance in the centers may be similar because people are coming in for those fitness programs and for those games, but not necessarily staying for lunch. I can't answer why that might be different, but it is. And we recognize it. We have done some goals and visions of what we would love centers to look like in the future. They include things like, wouldn't it be nice if we could provide a salad bar? Wouldn't it be nice if we could have a hot soup every day? Those come with some additional management pieces, ordering pieces, even having product available. I don't know if you know this right now, but any meals that we have with lettuce, tomato, fresh things like that, it is not available to us. We haven't had it in several months. So those meals have been changed on our menus because they're not available right now. So it's there for us to look forward to in the future and plan for. We're just not in a position to offer that as we had hoped quite yet. So,
Harry, I'm thinking back, okay, and I have no answer to this, but just an observation. Back in 2019, were the centers, all the centers making their own food? And no, they weren't. Okay.
they were not. That has changed as well. In 2020, in 2019, we had 3 kitchens. Tecumseh, Hudson, and Adrian. I was gonna say Addison. No, it had changed. So those 3 were cooking kitchens.
Okay.
In 2020, we stopped cooking in Tecumseh and moved that group to Adrian. We did that because it made sense in that we could, at that point, we were alternating staff.
Mhm.
And so that allowed us to have a bigger staff at one place and we could some on, some off, rotate. And we never went back to cooking there. So you're right, that has changed and that all of our cooking is now down to 1.
In the new kitchen.
In the new kitchen. We've also, since 2019, 3 centers have moved, 2 on a permanent basis and 1 has had a temporary relocation. So those have been some changes as well that have disrupted or changed.
Yeah, go ahead.
Has there been a corresponding increase in Meals on Wheels?
You know what? I did not pull those numbers, but if I was a betting woman, I would bet that our increase in home delivered meals exceeds the difference here.
Yes, probably. Yeah.
Absolutely. And one thing not factored here is curbside. Curbside is counted somewhat separately.
Hmm.
So I didn't add that piece in to know what curbside would add to that.
The reality is that there are many, many, many retired people that just have not gone back into groups of people.
It's-
That is, and they never will. And there is, for whatever reason, you could debate, but there is just a segment of our population that avoids groups now.
I think COVID might have had a lot to do with that. And the other thing we haven't talked about is the kitchens that we did have. Those were all old kitchens. The kitchen that here in Adrian was an old kitchen. If you took a health department in there and started looking at what all the violations were, you'd have to redo all those kitchens. So jumping ahead and jumping into the brand new kitchen, it does eliminate problems that we could have down the line.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Anything else? I was going to ask Julie, are you involved or were you involved in a lot of this stuff?
I was involved more on the funding end of it, and I saw reports from Lenawee and then Hillsdale and Jackson counties as well. But I think you'll see that same pattern that you're seeing here across the other 2 counties as well, and probably statewide. I
Okay,
expect there's more folks getting home delivered meals now because they can, eat in the comfort of their home, maybe their caregiver or something like that, but I'm not surprised.
okay. Hate to say it, that was the county version? We down to?
That was the county version.
That was the county version, so we're down to your report next.
Put my own hat on now.
Yep, go ahead.
Well, a variety of things. These are in no particular order, so please bear with me if I jump around. First, I want to share that Triad has an event coming. It is March 18th, which if memory serves, is a Thursday. It is from 9:30 to 11. It is fall prevention. It is at the Human Services Building. We are asking for an RSVP just so that we can be prepared to set up for the number coming. But if they don't and they walk in the door, we'll certainly accept them. There's no charge to this. Our speaker is Martha York from Wellwise. And she will be talking about, obviously, how to help with the fall. Well,
Date again, Karen?
March 18th.
Day after a national holiday. That's the day after a national holiday.
It's a Wednesday then.
Isn't that known as sobering up day?
Look over on the side, it's a holy day over there.
If you're working at sober, maybe you need the.
Perhaps I'll skip right to the corned beef and cabbage meal. Our centers serve that on March 12th. The reason being that it is not March 17th is that it is a Tuesday. And a Tuesday is a day that Onstead does not serve meals. So you would think, why would we not do it on Monday if it's a Tuesday? That's a big meal to serve and we need a little bit of prep time. So if we do it on Thursday, we get a little bit of extra time to prepare that than to have it sit over the weekend.
Is there a time frame? Say,
Same time we're serving, 11:30. Come on in, enjoy it. Our staff needs currently, I want a moment of celebration. Our home care staff is at this moment full. So that's a joyful celebration. We are ecstatic to have those spots filled. On that same note, the home services team led by Barb, who's come in and spoke with us, has taken on a monthly training. It is an electronic video training that each month they gather and they go through a training and receive a certification at the end. That has been funded through Russ. It's not this Russ. Many years ago, I think it was 2015 or 16, we received a donation from Russ Spalding's estate. And that money was designated for education of caregivers, both professional and that money had been invested at Lenawee Community Foundation. And so that money is being utilized to fund that monthly training for our home care, direct care staff. So that's been a benefit. To allow that to happen, Wellwise was also able to provide for us 18 laptops, Chromebooks, however you want to phrase that. And that has allowed us to be able to do those trainings all at one time. And that's been a benefit. Yesterday was our first one, so we had some educational opportunities with technology, but I think the next one will be smarter and it will go better. So.
Visual presentation through the laptop. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Yep. Everybody, they'll talk about it, then they watch the video, and then at the end of the video, they are taking a test for certification. The rest of my staff needs, we are seeking a cook one, which really doesn't tell you anything except the category. We are seeking someone to work in our Adrian Senior Center as the primary person who serves meals, gets ready for the food to arrive, serves the meals, cleans up afterwards. So 5 days a week, 5 hours a day, someone who might be interested in that middle of the day work. That posting is out there. If someone needs more information, they are welcome to call myself or Connie. We'd be happy to share more of what that looks like. We are also seeking still a home delivered route coordinator. We need that individual who works at the central kitchen to coordinate those drivers for those 17 routes that go out of that center. We are still looking to fill those routes. So if you know someone who is interested in helping us with the home delivered meals, certainly in the Adrian area, but also in the Hudson area, we would be appreciative of anybody that could help out. That would be great. Just when we thought we were cresting and balancing, unfortunately, we have had 2 every day of the week people who were unable to help us for a time. And that's impacting us. The last piece that I have written down here is the resource fair. So we are looking to present a senior resource fair again. It will be April 23rd from 9 to noon, held again at the Adrian Senior Center in the gym. Lunch will be provided as part of that.
A lot of participation in that too, isn't there?
It's a great partnership. We do it on the same day that United Way does their health check. So it kind of partners. They do the health check at St. Mary's. They had some considerations and opportunities to move it, change the date, and reflection and review. They decided that the partnership with us is a great benefit and we're going to continue to do it together. So
What are some of the things someone's going to encounter at this resource fair?
well, I don't have anybody signed up, so I'll tell you what I hope.
Okay.
What I hope is that people will see home care agencies, housing options. The library has been known to come. Parks and Rec from the county has been there to share things. I think Secretary of State will be there this year. Certainly nursing homes, insurance questions. I think we had 40 or so vendors. So in essence, anybody who's doing fitness, activities, housing, healthcare, anything related to older adults. There've been realtors there. If you have questions about downsizing, they've been helpful.
We can help Terry with,
Perhaps I missed
Any
the
reason to
conversation.
get off the
Terry.
couch and leave the house,
yeah.
right? Thank you.
Okay.
Flyers are coming, so as soon as they're out, I'll share them with you. When I looked at the January highlights, there's only one, maybe 2 things that I want to share with you. You may have taken a good look at the year-to-date clients. And in December, we had 1,819. And in January, we have 1,823. Although we've run that report a couple of times, I cannot understand why 4. That's just not our typical. And we had 5 new assessments. So that tells me we had at least 5 new people. So I don't know what has skewed to give us that number change. I suspect that the 1823 is not correct, but I don't know what's hindering us from getting in the right one this time. So with any luck, we'll have a huge jump in February and they'll all show up.
Okay, our next program here is existing business. Is there anything else?
That was everything on my list. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I had a question, Carrie. I know you talked about meals and the trends, but I just want to verify, these numbers are correct? Site meals, Adrian is dead last? I mean, I can't believe Addison with 334 and Adrian with only 128.
No, I'm sure that's not right.
Okay. I mean, the donations, it's like half the month is missing or something. It just not the end of the world if they're not accurate, but I think if that washes out,
Well-
corrects itself over the next month.
Yeah, I almost wonder if Addison and Adrian are flip-flopped.
Well, and you had said in your pseudo report that in January of 26, there were 1,632 dine-in meals, and this report says 1,531.
Mm-hmm.
But of the two locations, I mean, I've been to Addison Center and, you know, there
You're not,
are 10 people there.
and yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
That's
so-
what makes me think maybe those 2 months, those two are flip-flopped. but
Okay.
Even so, I think it would be low for Addison. So I will definitely investigate that.
I mean, Onstead is also a little bit smaller and they run 3 days a week or 4 days a week?
3 days.
3 days a week, so that makes sense, but so that's something missing there.
Mhm. Thanks, Jeff.
thanks, Jeff.
Oh, there's a decimal. Somebody did something.
All right. We are moving along. We're into a new business and there is an application. You would look at Kathy Burr's application. And the unique thing about this, I'm finding out, is that positions in our organization are posted on Lenawee County's website, apparently. So this application is coming to us through that. So there isn't anyone that I've met that knows Kathy Burr. This is the first time I've seen her name. She looks like she's very well qualified. And how she got here, it was just looking up what was available. Turns out that she's in a District 4, and that's what we needed, right?
That is what we needed.
And we needed to, this should fill our entire board with this position.
So I do know Kathy in that she worked for Department of Health and Human Services, which is located next door to the Department on Aging. And she was a supervisor when I was working with the MAP program. So I have worked with her.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I didn't know that. Okay. So with that being said, I see no reason, but I'm not voting. You are. I'm looking for a motion to accept.
So moved.
Moved and supported. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Any opposed? No. So be it. We're down to public comment. I don't see public here. We're down to board member comment. I'm going to leave that up to you. I have like 3 things I want to bring up to the board real quickly, but before I do, I'll leave it up if there's any other board member comment.
I have one quick thing.
Okay.
I was driving and I heard something on the radio, the eBide Center. And it was a, public service announcement, and they were offering senior yoga and senior balance classes. And, I'm always concerned when different agencies or nonprofits overlap, duplicate services. I mean, they're 2-3 blocks away. Why are they offering senior classes?
Who
Is there
are,
any kind of,
who are they again?
the east side, the eBide Center there,
Okay.
is there any coordination between them and anybody else. Just seemed weird to me, right?
I don't know what time those classes happen either. They could be evening classes. Which we don't
Okay.
provide. But I will check into
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
I wondered if it was more of a case of they have a lot of funding right now and they need to find ways to spend it so before they lose it.
Really? Okay.
No, I don't.
I can't answer that.
Okay.
I can't.
Because
answer that.
I thought, I know that, so Marcia, our Medicare supplement stopped giving us free Y membership
Mhm.
at the start of this year. So I thought we would see an influx of people at the Adrian Center. And I don't think that's really happened, but
She has a very robust group over there. I don't know that, Jeff. I don't know what those numbers are specifically to know if they've increased this year or not. But I know she has a pretty robust class for
at the,
both-
at the Y,
at the senior center
Oh,
for
at the senior- yes,
most of the
yes.
programs that she has.
okay.
But I will certainly look into those and see what they're offering and when.
Yeah, and evening classes might be it, but for seniors, you wouldn't normally think of doing a senior activity in the evening as
A
opposed.
lot of people are still working.
That's all I have.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yes, I just wanted to comment on the meals. Some of you know that I do deliver meals on Thursday. And a couple weeks ago, I had a situation where one of the clients had fallen. And I guess my question is, do we have any kind of like protocol of what to do? I mean, I didn't want to move him. And so I called 911. I called the senior center. But we had a heck of a time finding his medications and how old he was. And he has dementia or had dementia because now he passed away.
Let me see if I understand. You're delivering a meal to him?
Yes, I.
And how did
delivered-
he fell coming out to get the meal?
No, she
he-
found him.
I
falling.
found him on the floor.
Oh, okay.
And I asked him, I said, can you get up? And he said, no, I'm stuck. I said, okay, I'm not going to move you. But I did call 911 but do we have any kind of, I haven't been to any training, but is there any kind of protocol that, okay, this is what you do first?
The
Make sure
protocol,
your phone first of all, which
protocol was exactly what you should have done.
Yep.
Call 911. It is not your responsibility to worry about whether we've got the information for the emergency personnel at all.
Okay. All right.
It sometimes is a benefit and sometimes we can help with that, but it should not be yours as a driver to make that connection.
Correct.
You call 911. If you're comfortable waiting or being a part of that until medical personnel arrive, wonderful. That would be the most we would expect from a driver.
Okay.
Call the center and let them know.
Yes.
A,
yeah.
because you want to alert them that you've fallen, but also that you may be a little late in delivering the rest of the meals.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, he was my last client.
Oh,
And so we waited, my husband and I waited there, but the paramedics, they're asking me, well, how old is he? I said, I have no
you
idea.
don't know. Yeah.
And
I said, well, what kind of medication does he take? I said, I don't know. I'm just delivering meals.
yep, and
And,
that's all you
yeah.
can say.
Yeah.
For that to be shared with you would be a HIPAA violation.
Okay,
And we would never want to do that.
right. But then apparently Julie from the Onstead Center then called the main office. And then they called me saying, okay, this is his daughter's number and things like that. So, but I think it might be good to notify or let the drivers know, okay, this is what you do.
It is
Yeah.
part of the annual training
Okay.
listed. We just don't encounter it enough to know what to do when you need it.
Or do drivers wear any type of?
Identifiers.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
nope.
Would it have been helpful for you to have just something that said you're a volunteer driver in that instance?
No, I don't think so.
Probably not.
No,
It's their
no.
protocol to ask whoever is there all those questions. You
Yeah,
aren't one who knew.
yeah,
You would be no different than if you fell in a parking lot and you were walking to your car that was
Yeah.
parked next to him.
Yeah.
You don't know enough about him to share anything.
yeah,
You simply called 911 and waited for them to arrive.
yeah.
First
That's the
responder people are gonna determine quickly that you don't know about medication and treatments, so they will start other processes.
Yep.
One is they'll search, for example, in the bathroom for medication.
Uh-huh.
Or a file of life,
Yeah.
which every
Check
home,
bracelets.
Right, what, yeah, necklaces and whatever. And,
so also all home care, home delivered meal clients that we have on and do an assessment with receive a file of life form. We do not fill it out for them. That is their personal information to fill out and put on the refrigerator, but
yes, and that would be real helpful. But like you said, you don't fill it out for you, you
Mm.
get the opportunity to give it to them, but yeah, that would have been very helpful.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there's a human side where you want to help.
Yeah,
This, that always gets in the way, you know?
yeah,
So
so,
it's interesting.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
anything else? And now you're gonna have to listen to me, I think. I do have a couple questions for you. That would be doing, how are you doing with volunteer drivers in general? You
Wha-
still need volunteer drivers.
we
correct?
do, we do. We get about 2 or 3 new ones each week, which is helping. But we're still not quite where we'd like to be. To cover 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
When I was doing driving here, I think you and I have talked about this. We were in the 40s, 45 volunteer drivers to do things here. I think we're in
For the transportation
the
program.
transportation program.
Mhm.
I think we're down to 15 or something. Is that about right? Or is it bigger than that? You know?
Do you know?
Gary, did you have the opportunity to see the presentation that Jen put together for? If you really want to see a super job done and how she went about it, and how she determined certain things. Jen, are you over there? No?
She is.
Yes,
Oh, stand up for us. You can see who I'm talking about.
we're talking
She
about.
works for the county here. She did just an outstanding job of trying to reach out to drivers. And she researched ways that would have been more effective than just putting it in the newspaper, putting it on the county's Facebook. So, maybe at some point, at some meeting, Gary's probably gonna shoot me now, but we could have her show us that presentation.
Yeah.
It was outstanding. It was absolutely outstanding.
You
Is
would
that,
mind
is
doing
that the TikTok video?
TikTok.
Is that what he's talking about, Jen? Yeah.
Wow.
It'd make you want to sign up again.
I got 2 more real quick things, and one was, how's the new van?
The new van is getting a new facelift. It's getting a wrap right now. And it's gonna be bright and cheery and you're gonna know it when you see it. But it will be fun and that will be presented at the annual meeting for Wellwise. So sometime in May, probably. We'll do official sharing of that. The big reveal, although you'll see it on the road before that.
All right. My last thing was yesterday. I was in a doctor's office attending my appointment. I'm hanging up my coat and I'm going to go sit down in the waiting room. And as I went to the waiting room, I had to walk around this lady, somewhat of a large lady in a big chair that's motorized. She has a little stuff on so she can move it back and forth. I sat down, I'm looking at that chair, and it's decorated with the American flag. It's got wheels that way, it's got the fenders that way. It's just a gorgeous looking chair. So I said to her, you got a really nice chair there. Were you a military member? And she says, no, I wasn't a military member. She said, but it's a new chair for me. She said, and a wonderful organization found me this chair. And I got to tell you, if you have any friends, you tell them the Department of Aging is a wonderful, wonderful place. Turns out that this was a chair that was donated to the veterans from a veteran who had passed away. The family gave it to the Veterans Association. They had it in the building for quite a long time, and nobody would take it. It's a very big chair. And this lady, who you take care of quite often, is in our van program and has to go to doctor's offices, and she was in a chair that was falling apart. So John, who's our driver, knew about this chair and found it and delivered it to her. And now I'm in this doctor's office and I'm talking to her, and all of a sudden John pops up. He had delivered her there, and he was sitting on the other side of the room. And he comes over and he says to her, do you know who this man is? And she said, no. And she said, that's Russ Amo. And he said, yeah. Russ Amo trained me, he said. And it's true. I trained him how to drive that van. So I just wanted to tell everybody that that's it. We have a wonderful reputation in this community. And as you see these people that come here that work for us, she named me off 3 people that I know they're employees here, but I may have met them once or twice. She was just naming these people off and how wonderful this place is. So I have that same feeling. I have that feeling about this board. If you see the members of this board coming in, we are now going to be loaded with our total new members. Every one of you is giving here, and it is a very, very good. I see it in a very positive sense. So that is my report to the boards. And I'm looking for adjournment, I'd say. Got to move? And a support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope.